See if I can get better lighting. Maybe. Let's see if I can get better lighting. Here's my coffee. Hi, this is Alan. Again, TI, Target Individual, Havana Syndrome. One of the books that are TIs in the TI community like to promote is Project Soulcatcher, Robert Duncan, or Tim Emerson. I don't know his real name. A lot of these people have different, probably not just one alias, just probably many different aliases that they use if they're CIA or work for them. I remember one person who's a former CIA guy said, and I forget his name. I would say I just remember he said something smart, that if a person is coming out saying classified truths but not allowed to say other classified truths because they don't want to get in trouble, when he hears that, and I forget, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. It's not the guy with the long hair, though. It was a different guy. He was saying that sounds more like talking points, like it's something they want to get that part out there. But if something else is classified, we'll just spill the beans on all of it, But if they only want something to get out there, some specific thing, the rest is classified, then, I don't know. He said that sounds like, he goes, well, that's when I kind of listen and my ears perk up like it's talking points. And it's from a person who spent, when I broke my arm in high school, sophomore year, practice, broke my arm, separated my shoulder, and then went back. Within a few months, I started getting these. I went through this tons of times. And another person, later actually, that was in high school, the football team, later became pretty big in the bureau. But I don't want to give his name, actually became pretty far up. He was a nice guy, actually, in high school. So, big guy. Anyway. The weird thing is that they will try to find people sometimes with it. Instead of finding bullies, they might do that too, but they have different projects in Darpa and MKUltra to see how much they can put a thought into the brain, whether synthetic telepathy, whether it's very soft, almost subliminal. And if you're still alive after 20 or 30 years, then they'll go full voice to skull, audible to you. But other people, TIs, who say they're TIs, say that they can catch it on particular phones or microphones. I don't know. I just know there's books on it, like Forbidden Tech. And with patents that show, oh no, this technology is real. Energy weapons, electronic harassment, best testimony of V2K, technology victim, modes of attack for target individual, the Hutchinson effect, V2K patents, chemtrails and HARP. I don't know much about chemtrails. I know what they are, but I don't, Anyway, good book, but these are the things about, and part of it has to do with, before Elon Musk, it was probably a DARPA Neuralink thing. In the hospitals, NIH, DOD get money, grants, to try it on unsuspecting patients. And of course, the hospital and doctor, they get money, lots of it probably, and don't tell you, and you have to go to the doctors for pain meds for something they put in your body. hoping that you die before you find out that they did this to you. And they did this when I was studying, getting ready to go to Bible college. So I was already a religious person, had no enemies. Most friendliest in my class, most likely in 10 years to be teaching creationism. But I'd spent years also studying, religion, apologetics, humanism. And I constantly had that side pain that was taking away a lot of my emotions. I literally thought, looked it up, does too much religion or stress? I know it can cause sometimes some, like a quick pain or even, some stress, but a chronic, all the time side pain like that. And so I went to some experts in OHSU, Oregon Health Science, and my doctor sent me to different, finally after a number of years of complaining of the pain, one specialist sent me OxyContin, which I was thankful because you don't know, and you don't think your doctor knows what, so they at least gave you pain meds. And 2015, all this pressure to get rid of OxyContin. So you get taken off it, not because of anything I did, he said. But anyway, the way I had lived my life, I didn't know I just knew that I had that chronic side pain that was taking away a lot of my emotions. We just couldn't feel much. Now, that can be done with brain and some types of, but this was a side pain. And that can create depression. When you have pain, it can create depression. Chicken and the egg thing. But this was really, it wasn't like something bad happened. Girlfriend broke up or this and that. It was literally a constant pain that caused pain, that depression, because what is this? And nobody figured out what it is. It wasn't until 2015, 16, 17 that the weird stuff, and it's not psychosomatic, like I just think something weird. Literally, these little psyops start happening, not just to me, but to people around the world. Havana syndrome, that morphed into target individual, and that later morphed into brain-computer interface. And then it's, Neuralink, Tesla, and it's even named telepathy, the chip in the head. And when you think, well, did I do something wrong? Why would somebody do something so evil? And it's like, no. It's not like in the Old New Testament in Lazarus. Well, I would warn people to not live a sinful life, or this will happen to you. It's like, I didn't. I was kind. I thought a lot about religion. I thought a lot about humanism. I'm a believer. But some things I don't claim to know. I think free will shows there's always is. If you believe in free will, like I do. In the last 20 years, it's been this push with the 4 horsemen of atheism and with computer science. Suddenly, out of the blue, there's this push in computer science. All these people coming out of the woodwork to deny free will. Something for a few thousand years people weren't willing to talk about or discuss, that materialism doesn't allow for free will. And now Calvinism, and theologically, some people might be, if they're ultra-Calvinist, orthodox in that sense. But there's been this push, even in the religious world, for types of Calvinism. Almost like old Arthur Pink stuff. And I can't say that, it's like, they'll even get people's scrupulosity, OCD, who are already so sensitive to not hurt somebody or to not do anything, whether it's what other people might call a sin, or to hurt somebody. And those are the people often who are most guilt-ridden over the smallest things. If they hurt somebody's feelings, or they'll be made to feel so guilty for the smallest of things. and to already go and put them and to try to put more negative thinking, more guilt, more pressure, psychological negativity. And to then it's good to think positive. But the one thing it's like I'm positive about is I haven't hurt people. There's been a couple things I wish I didn't do. One time, getting drunk at a person's house, and having somebody come drive 2 hours to pick me up. That was, but I think that was the worst thing, that somebody once had to drive 2 hours to pick me up. And that was, wish I didn't go and get drunk, but I did. But, they will take already nice, good people and try to make them feel even worse. And it's like, no, I lived a life where I kept on thinking about what is right, what is religious. And I wish I didn't think so much about religion and God. With scrupulosity, people with that, whether it's Christian, Jewish, or Muslim, or different Hindus even, it puts kind of a negative pall over things, just glass half empty. And I didn't realize all that time DARPA was trying to purposely do this to people. Just to see what, gain of function, just if they can make a sickness even worse. And none of the watchdogs were telling them no, not the bioethicists. Now, after COVID, you'd think, maybe we should put a watch and not give these grants. Thank goodness Trump put a stop on a lot of this grants and NIH. And as much as you want them to know their science and good technology, this stuff of making technology and wasting billions of dollars on new weaponry and treating your fellow human being and even animals as guinea pigs. This should be done away with. And I hope President Trump and Elon Musk realize they're trying to weaponize a good technology that can be used to help handicapped people. And DARPA and our own DOD are trying to make it into a weapon of cruelty. And I hope Europe and America and Africa and the Middle East will realize this is not a good technology, doing this to innocent people. And as much as I don't get a kick out of even the people. I don't wish to retaliate. I just want them to stop. But they already had MK Ultra, the church hearings in 1975. And they got caught. But I don't know if anybody paid the price or went to prison for it. They rarely get fired even. I hate to say it, but I think sometimes people need to be stopped, and because if they don't get punished, they don't stop. They just keep doing a different person. Try to hide it. Go underground with different names, change the names, and change the FOIA requests to where the FOIA, what they're asking for in the FOIA won't match. Like COVID, maybe they'll misspell COVID for COVIDs, and there won't be an S with a $sign. So they won't say, well, they didn't ask for COVIDs with a $sign, so we can't give them that FOIA information. I mean, I do hope that Kash Patel will, along with President Trump, will expose this deep state shenanigans and not just change the name from OSS to CIA or whatever, and to harm innocent people. I know that I've already written to people in government in the Havana Syndrome group, and that they play electronic harassment. But it's hard because when now after 20, 30, 40 years, you realize people in your hometown got paid not to get to the bottom of things or to help. And that hurts. Not only you're thankful for the pain meds, but then you realize you shouldn't have been on pain meds because you shouldn't have been in a directed energy program that purposely causes pain just to see how you react with a brain-computer interface. So that when you have the effects of synthetic telepathy or voice to skull, and then you describe it to a doctor, that they then get money from your insurance or from, oh, well, it's voice to skull. That's hearing voices. Ching, ching. They're not even interested in trying to help you. Even if you can show it in the books that this stuff is real, when you can show it at the White House bioethics meeting in 2011 and 2012, other people. EMK, MK Ultra, from RFIDs to remote neural monitoring, which is 24/7. It's almost like Minority Report, where it's real time. Your private thoughts, you can hear people talking, commenting on your private thoughts, hoping that you go up to a doctor and say it so that you can be diagnosed as schizophrenic. But now it's been going on 10 years now. So now it's so open, out in the open, to where it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for them because there's a lot of pressure now with the liberals as being the bad ones. Before it was, the liberals were blaming the conservatives for the wars. And now in the last 15, 20 years, it's been switched. But we have enough good books with patents. That's a good one. And it does show, I don't really know how many TIs there is. Targeted Justice, PAX International. I'm just glad that they're still making videos and talking about it in Eschato. And I hope that they do. Even if some of them do have feds. I'm just glad that they're still talking about it and giving you somebody to bounce ideas off. They can say that they're getting the information from, they're getting it from synthetic telepathy and 24-hour Minority Report, viewing, remote neural monitoring. But they can just pretend that they're getting it because you talked about it in chat room or wrote about it in chat room. And of course, if you bring eschatology, the world does a lot, and they spend so much money on TIs. Seeing how you react, your vitals, and how you think, your feeling or lack of feeling, and then your actions. And then try to, even using a technological, humanistic, secular humanism, or the singularity, where machines become stronger or smarter than people. Well, let me tell you, as a person who's had this directed energy weapon on my side for now 40 years, after an operation when I was 14, I can hear the V2K say, okay, this guy's up. Yeah, that's a daily thing. My side pain didn't make me smarter or their telepathy. It made me always have some pain and take away a lot of my emotions, my feelings. And it made me dumber, this program. I don't know if they're trying to make clones, where they make good people who are prone or programmed to not be smart and just be religious and good. I don't know. But again, too much of a 70 times 7, keep forgiving people and don't react in a violent way. I still have my free will. I still could. But they would know about it in real time and see they could put the thought and then try to make you feel guilty for the thought they put in there in the first place and see how you react to the thought that they put in there. And so see how you react to the thought or the guilt or the emotion. And then you realize, well, that thought could have been my natural thought, or it could have been them putting that in there, seeing how I react. Do I have guilt over a thought they put there? And loyalty and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's what we're doing. And I hope Darpa realizes, and when you're coming from a drained swamp town, people really need to know this is going on, and Darpa needs to stop. The DoD, and hopefully with people I like Hegseth and Cash Patel, and there's other good people, hopefully, that were trying in the bureaus trying to stop this. Hopefully, more than they were trying to stop COVID. I hope they'll try to stop this and set us free from this technology, this torture tech, AI and mixing with humans and cyborgs. I'm not a cyborg. I'm a person that they use to put a brain chip without my knowledge, synthetic telepathy, and voice to skull. But when you have this type of voice to skull, it's just funny. It's not God talking to you. It's just regular people using a technology in real time. Half the time, it's just a CD that they have rotating. And I just hope it stops. And so I can get hopefully this thing on my side. It feels like they were sucking the emotions out of me, my personality. And then you can't feel anything on this side, right here, because that's where they had a chip or something right here in this area. A directed energy with telemetry and real-time vitals, reading vitals, and sometimes a little Havana syndrome shock to the system. Anyway, I'm trying to be quiet, so hopefully you guys can see it. Hopefully this doesn't happen to you. It's pretty bad when even the local police know about it, that something like this is going on. And that some of them were on the take. They didn't care that your rights were out the window. The Constitution that they claim to care about. But it's you. You're not them. So they don't care that much. Even though you have never hurt them or done anything wrong to them. So there are some good people. Let's hopefully they'll allow myself to get some emotions. And, I got some if I meditate and use magnets on my side and positive, but I've had 12 times where they turned it off and everything. My emotions came back, my heart muscle or whatever this is on my side relaxed, and my emotions came back, and I could feel. It was wonderful. And that's what made me realize, nothing had changed in the day. It wasn't a new medication, wasn't anything new that had happened. It just out of the blue. I was doing dishes and one time laundry, and then it just stopped and felt wonderful for a few hours. And then it just went back. So I thought it was prayer. Then it made me realize after it went back, that after years and hearing about this and Havana syndrome and directed energy technology, that it was a technology, a weapon used on civilians just to see what happens. So, University of Pennsylvania, MIT, Georgetown, where they use brain-computer interface, where they, I just hope they stop this program and the bioethics people will finally come clean about it. So, anyways, Alan. So I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye. Talk to you later.